It's nighttime. I'm looking at the moon.
Yes.
I'm still on the beach.
Yes, continue.
I'm just walking down the beach. And it's very peaceful.
Yes.
And it's not quite a full moon, but close to it.
Yes. And on this beach, take a look at yourself. What do you look like there?
Oh, stronger.
Stronger. Very good. Keep going. What else do you notice?
I'm younger and I have long dark hair.
Yes. Notice your face. What does your face look like?
Look kind of Hawaiian.
Yes. Tell me more. Describe yourself to me.
It seems I walk the beach at night because I have a lot of responsibilities during the day. So this is my way of shaking them off.
Yes. Yes.
I have a family and I'm somebody. There's a village. I do something in this village.
All right, so I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I get to number 3, I want you to be at a moment in time when you're doing the work in that village. 1, 2, and 3. What's happening?
We're getting ready for something. I'm helping people assemble things and make things. We're getting ready for something serious.
Notice what it is that you're preparing.
I wanted to say like spears and things.
Yes. Notice your body. Is this a male or female body?
It's a male.
Are you young or old?
I'm older. I'm more like maybe 50. I'm a little weathered, but I'm still really strong.
All right. So now that you are aware of what it is that you're making, what is the importance of making all of this, preparing?
We're having to take a stand against outsiders coming in.
Yes.
And they're, we've heard bad things about them.
Yeah, so what is it that you're anticipating from these strangers?
We don't know. We just want to be ready. They've come to outer islands and they got people sick and they killed people and
Yes.
and word got to us to be prepared to protect ourselves, and that's what we're doing.
All right, very good. So I'd like for you to advance a little bit more to when something happens.
There was more of us, but they had weapons that we couldn't fight. and many got killed.
Yes. So what are you feeling about this?
Distraught but steady.
Yes. What was your responsibility with your people?
I was like a chieftain.
So I want you to notice now that you've lost some people. What's happened?
The people are frightened, and I have to stay strong for them, and I have to figure out if there's a way we can get out of more bloodshed.
Yes. Yes. What happens next?
There's some people that have been taken as slaves, but they know that I'm a chieftain, so their chieftain wants to try to communicate with us about what they want and how they can get it.
What are you feeling about this?
I don't trust them, but I know that I'm in a position to save as many of my people as I can. So.
All right. So I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I get to number 3, let's go to that next moment when things are happening. 1, 2, and 3. Yes.
I didn't know this man's language, and we tried to figure out through writing in the sand. And I was very cautious about taking him to the king. But I knew the king had more power and could maybe figure out more about what this man is saying and save us from total annihilation.
Yes.
So I decided to take him to the king.
All right, very good. So I'd like for you to just connect with your emotions. What is it that you're feeling as this is happening, this decision?
I am in deep thought and prayer and trying to be very, very careful with this man.
Yes.
I don't want to seem disrespectful or frivolous. So I am trying to keep the right decorum for such things. And meanwhile, I'm trying to tell my people in a certain way to quietly move as many people off the island as possible to the island that's already been invaded.
Yes.
And they can take their chances with the disease more than this.
All right. Very good. So I'd like for you now to advance forward. What happens?
They come to an agreement of some sort.
Are you part
because
of this?
they're way more than us. Yes, I brought these men to the king. I went to his advisor first to make sure that they didn't go directly to the king. And then someone else pretended to be the king in case they wanted to kill the king.
So I want you to take a moment and look into this man's eyes, the one that is the stranger. Do you recognize those eyes? Have you seen them before?
I've seen him before, yeah. They're not very kind.
Yes. What about the king? Do you recognize those eyes?
Yeah. That's funny.
So I'd like for you now to advance the next important scene. What happens now?
They bring Christianity to us, and we have to wear more clothes, and we have to learn their language, and we have to abide by their direction. And some people really don't want to do that.
How does that make you feel now, knowing that you have to abide by their rules?
Our freedom has been taken.
Yes.
But we're alive. So we can practice our rituals when they're not looking.
Very good. So I'm going to count from 1 to 3 now, and I want you now to go to almost the end of your life and tell me what happens. 1, 2, and 3.
I'm in a bed.
Notice how old you are there.
I'm very old. And I'm surrounded by my big family.
Yes.
And they're thanking me for my time with them. And it's very beautiful. And they're telling me I did the right thing because many lives were saved.
So as you're lying there, what's been the most difficult part of this life?
Not being able to defeat those men.
Yes.
That really haunted me for a long time.
So I want you to notice this life of this man who had so much responsibility, who had to negotiate and compromise. What is it about this that the soul needs to heal?
Well, this man's life was based on what he could do for others to keep them safe and well. And he did the best he could.
So in looking at that life, how does that affect Sabrina now? What is it that she is having to negotiate and compromise and care about in this moment in her time now?
making a bad situation into a better situation, and looking out for the feelings of everyone involved.
Yes. Yes.
Trying to speak for them and think about them in the process.
Very good. So you've had a long life. You're there at the end of your life. How would you like to advise Sabrina now that she's also in a state of compromise and negotiations?
Read the situation and trust your instincts and try to stay calm through it all.
Very good. So I'd like now for you to go ahead and take your last breath in that lifetime and tell me what happens to your soul as you leave that body.
I stop for a moment. I'm right above my body and I'm looking at everybody and loving them and feeling all the love coming off of them, and there's not one judgmental person in the we're outside. So there was not one judgmental person there.
What about your own soul? Does it have any judgment?
No. Looking at, I'm feeling the collective prayer for my peace on the other side.
Yes.
And it's very strong.
Wonderful. And as you hear that collective prayer, what do you sense from the other side? Who is there waiting for you?
My mother and my grandfather.
Yes.
And I don't see my father. But my mother is quick to be there. She's been gone a long time.
Yes.
And my grandfather's been gone even longer. But they were my favorites.
Wonderful. So I'd like for you to go ahead and take your soul into the light and tell me what happens as your soul reaches the light.
I'm absorbed by the light.
Yes.
It's a place I want to be forever. It's all is one and one is all, and we shine so brightly together. And it's pure bliss, peace, love. Very strong, ecstatic type feeling. It's
Wonderful.
wonderful, yeah.
So I want you to just breathe in that light, and I'm going to strike a tuning fork and amplify that light even more. Breathe it in. And exhale. And as the vibration takes you deeper and deeper, I'm going to count from 1 to 3. And when I get to number 3, I want you to now go to that moment in time where you decided, made a decision to be the commander, to set this mission on its course. 1, 2, and 3. Where are you?
I'm part of the light. I've been through other existences, but now I'm back in the light.
Yes.
And there's a discussion
Where are
going
you?
on. It's like a communal thought. Mm-hmm. But decisions are being made. There's something, a big event about to happen on Earth. And I've been discussing how I want to be part of that. And it's been agreed upon. And I've been so free lately that I might be reckless. Mm-hmm. So that was addressed. And there were others that agreed to protect me.
Who are these others to protect you?
Other souls that have been along the way for eons. Mm-hmm. And they say, okay, I'll step up and I'll watch you from here. And then somebody else says, I want to do it too. And mm-hmm. So there's this group that's making sure that, you know, if I trip, they pick me back up kind of thing on the way to mm-hmm. this big event.
All right, so let's focus on this big event. And I want you to hone in on this information that is being discussed about Earth and what is happening to it.
Well, in the age of Aquarius, there'll become a new dawn, and it can take on many forms. Mm-hmm. Human will have a lot to do with it. So we each have our own part to play in the energies on Earth at this time. We could go to a new Earth. There could be a disaster, or there could be a recalibrating, and there have been others like myself that were sent on different parts of the planet to hold this energy like radio
yes.
in a stable form. Like radio towers around the world, that's what we are.
All right. Do you get any type of training or knowing or anything about what it is that you need to do to be this radio tower?
Practice shining. Practice shining. Mm-hmm.
Tell me
emitting this energy wave frequency that's like radio. Mm-hmm. More meditating, more practice, getting in crowds and shining. Mm. Shining where people can see it. It affects them. It's like it helps them turn the dial to the right station. Mm-hmm. Eventually, those of us that have come here for this event that have been agreed upon will shine till we are recognized and put in a position to help others shine.
Mm-hmm. So what has your soul decided to do? How will it shine?
I've always known I could stand on a stage mm-hmm. and say something in particular that would change people's perspective.
Yes.
And there's also art to make it so ludicrous that they laugh, but it still makes them think. To point things out that people skirt around, but put it in a way where they'll have to pay attention, but they'll be happy about it. Spotlight.
And when doing this work on the stage and this artwork, how is that helping emit the light?
Standing on stage, people have to sit facing you. They're conditioned to listen. So whether they like it or not, they're listening. You can affect more people by standing on stage and saying something, but not everybody is auditorially inspired. Some people are more visual. You can reach more on stage, but you can reach them profoundly through art. There is a group that we know that's are going to be on a platform together, not necessarily a stage.
What is this group? Are these a group of souls, of people?
People we know, Alba.
So as you look at all of these different people that are going to be on this platform, what role does Sabrina have?
Sabrina is gathering the troops. Sabrina is getting everybody together somehow and making them all look at the end picture, the goal, and as per the theme lately, all the little parts will fall into place. But the world needs to hear what this group has to say. And we are lucky to be here at this time.
All right. So I'd like for you to expand, zoom out a little bit from all of these individuals. And I'd like for you to follow these souls back to where this agreement was made for them all to be here at this time.
It was made in the light. There was a meeting. There was a council that guides more than makes decisions. And they all put their heads together that we've all known each other in one lifetime or another. And we've played through time together.
And this platform, is it going to be physical, where everyone will be together?
In some ways, yes. Some will go to different places together. And then, like on the stage, there's Zoom screens behind them of the rest, so whoever can get together and travel will, and the others will join them on stage via like a Zoom thing on the back of the stage.
Yes.
And then there might be another few that are somewhere else. Those girls, is that Australia? The Maoris?
Mm-hmm. Those are from New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Mm-hmm.
They have to communicate with each other because they can, from New Zealand, help people in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Australia needs their help. And their power between, there's 3 of them, that their power between them, they can form their own platform and have indigenous peoples help them with it, where they can transmit, like mostly to Australia, and inspire from a roots level for Australians to stand up and not revolt, but reorganize with masses. Masses of people have to get together, and they can inspire them to do that using their indigenous roots. And the people that are part of that, they can somehow inspire. They need to work on that together.
So getting back to the platform and the reason for all of these souls to come here at this time, are we focusing on what's going on right now?
Yes. It's going to come to a head. And then there's going to be something big happen. One way or another, it will be undeniably big. There will be some earth changes, some other dimensions intersecting.
So I want you to slow this down and take one at a time.
Okay.
Let's focus on the earth changes. What do you notice? Zoom out a little bit so that you can see it.
Okay, there's going to be some volcanic activity. And after that, there's going to be some wobbling. We'll know down deep in our soul that when this volcanic Etna and Pele, 2 volcanoes in particular, when they erupt, it will wake up some people, like it will trigger a future memory where they will know it is time to move to safe ground. But my stomach is growling. Anyway, so there's something, the timeline's all crazy because there's other dimensions happening. Like some people are going to be able to just leave into another dimension. And then there seems like there's going to be this interstellar assistance, like really gigantic.
Are you talking about ships coming in?
Yeah. it seems like it's going to be a lot of crazy going on there, and somehow all of these people that we know are going to have a big part in their own world about that. They might be over here and they'll be a leader and the conduit between the other dimension, or a conduit with these interstellar galactic peoples that are coming to help, that are like we're star seeds from them. So this person might be a star seed, so they're gonna be connecting somehow so they can help people go somewhere safe with them. Or there's just a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
So I want you to just slow it down, so you could just look at one thing at a time.
Okay, well, there's this interstellar thing is happening. There's different, like from the Galactic Federation, there's different representatives. And so they're from different star systems.
What is their role in coming?
They're like we came from them. So they're like our guardians. They're, watching to make sure we're okay. I mean, I don't see any like evil factors, but there are some. But they wouldn't, if they're here at all, the good will outweigh them and intercede and protect us from them. So it'll be like a major transition, and some people can't take it. Some people be like, I'm jumping in the volcano, they can't take it. But those of us, in this group have been touched enough that our flame will burn brighter and either grab the people that can't take it and show them the light. But there's going to be it's like putting a lot of people into another dimension or onto a ship to save them from the earth changes. But it's all kind of temporary. It's like after the earth recalibrates, it's like everybody can either come back or stay where they went if they want to, or stay in that other dimension. So it's
So look at the time frame. How long will it take for all of these earth changes? Is it a fast thing?
There will be a warning. You'll know. There's a down deep in your soul warning, and some people won't get it. But the people with the brighter flame in them will. And then they'll communicate with each other, and they'll say, yeah, I know this too. We need to do this and this. And each person's going to bring something to the table that, yeah, okay, we can make a plan. Or I've heard from this, or I've seen this. Somehow or other, the people with the brighter flame will figure it out and help others as need be.
There's a lot of people on Earth that do not believe in the intergalactics, the extraterrestrials. How will they be when this happens?
Shock, awe, and disbelief. And those are the ones we have to really save, because they're going to be just standing in the street with their mouth open, and we're going to have to say, come on, it's time. And some will come willingly, and some will choose to stay.
What happens if they stay on Earth?
They'll most probably perish. But that's okay, because then they'll go back to the light and go, oh. I mean, it won't be fun to watch.
Yes.
It'll be upheaval. Everybody will be affected. There will be no doubt it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Is there any way to prepare for this?
If you want to put your running shoes on, now's the time. I mean, it's like we all feel a pull towards what we need to do. Sabrina feels like she needs to get stronger, so if she needs to pick up 2 people at once and run with them, she can. If she needs to just be strong-willed and say something with authority that'll make somebody go ahead and go this way when they need to. But meditation is the big one. Just meditating and being very still and listen. But before the big signs happen, we should hear a voice clearly. A voice.
This voice that we're going to hear, is this some sort of technology?
No, it'll be an actual voice. You'll hear it. There might be sounds like some people, because of their upbringing and their religious beliefs, they'll hear a horn, like an angel's trumpet.
Yes.
Some people will hear Mother Mary, the Virgin Mother, speak to them kindly. Some people will have a guardian angel show up. Some people will have an alien talk to them. It's going to be, some people will just hear the strongest voice they've ever heard when no one's around telling them it is time for you to go here. Because they've been chosen to be in a certain place at a certain time.
Yes.
But those of us that are paying attention will definitely hear the voice.
Very good. And when we're told to go someplace, is this a meeting place?
It could be. In some cases, yes. In some cases, it's, bring your family to this spot.
Yes.
But there will be confirmations. Like a father will hear the voice and he'll go, I probably had too much beer yesterday. But then his smallest child will say, Daddy, I heard this voice and it said this, and it'll be exactly the same message. So then his wife will say, I just heard this voice. So there will be enough confirmation that if you choose to not believe it, you'll have to face the consequences.
All right, very good. And let me ask you about the other souls that are on Earth. We know that certain souls came here to be the ones who work on this mission. Did the other souls come here at this time for the same purpose, to be here?
Yes. Some people came just to see it and die that way.
Yeah.
And some people came to warn others and then just go to another dimension. Not all of us are here to save the world. Some people will just disappear, like in a twinkle, just disappear. And that's because they chose to come and see it all.
Yes.
And now they're just going to check out.
Okay. So when they disappear, are they going into a different dimension?
Yeah.
What is this dimension that they're going to?
The fifth, it's the fifth, or sometimes the seventh. I don't know.
So it's like their mission is over on this earth?
Yeah, they just decide, well, when it gets too hairy, I'm going to just kind of snap my fingers and go back.
Okay.
You know, and there's some that are just going to go right back to source. They'll just jump right out of their body and leave their body there. But some will completely disappear. Okay. They're just going to go to the next dimension.
Very good. So what time frame are we looking at?
Soon.
Are we talking days, weeks, months, years?
Sometime in the age of Aquarius, which is now.
Okay.
And August 23 kept coming up. Whenever 8:23.
8:23.
It could be, who knows? But we should be ready for it any minute. We should do our best every day and be ready for it any minute.
Okay.
And keep in touch with each other and, share stories about what we're experiencing.
So now I'd like to go back 2 years when a lot of us were in Peru and many strange things happened. Was that some sort of a beginning?
That was a convergence of souls. That was a very powerful meeting of souls. That was a beginning, yes, because that sparked the I don't want to say uprising, but it was the beginning of something big. It was a beginning. It was the first time that all these souls were together. They'd all interacted before, but it was very powerful that we all be together, because now we can reach out to each other in these coming times. We know how.
So these affirmations that she's been doing and talking to her skin, how is that working?
It's very new, but so far so good, and it'll work out just fine.
Okay.
It'll be great.
Wonderful. What about her artwork? She wants to be able to inspire others to really make a difference, to move them.
Sabrina has thousands of pictures on her phone. She needs to take the time, sit down, weed out pictures and see which ones are most profound to her, and see which ones would touch people the most. Children in Peru, Romania, an Egyptian woman with a big basket on her head. Her travels, she's taken some really, the beggar in Milan, in the square in front of the Duomo. Just people with faces that have a story would touch people more than anything. So she's taken pictures of some interesting faces along the way, but she needs to go through all those pictures, weed them out, see which ones really, really touched her, and those would be good to paint.
Wonderful. Who helps Sabrina with her painting?
First name I heard was Da Vinci. It's funny because Da Vinci's the guy anyway, but Michelangelo was the influence on how to paint hands and feet and noses. There's many artists, and her forefathers, there were many artists and artisans. When she gets in a zone painting, her hand is guided by a much higher power than a name.
Is this similar to the artist that Sabrina and I were speaking about? That is divinely guided? Akian?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina's not as devoted with that backup and support, but yes, it gets to a point when she's in that zone that time means nothing, and she'll come out of that trance basically and say, how did that happen? Who painted that? And it was because her hand was being divinely guided.
Beautiful. So let's get down to one other thing that she's been interested in is doing hypnosis.
Yes.
Is that an option too?
Yes, she can set up hypnosis and Reiki. She can set up that possibility, but she won't be doing that online. She'd be doing it in person.
In person.
She can give more energy and help people more in person than online.
Okay. When will she start doing that?
Soon.
Okay.
In the next 3 to 4 months.
Wonderful. So let's do something. I'd like for you to go ahead and do a scan of this body and tell me if there's anything that's out of place. Any shadows?
There's something in her neck.
What's going on in the neck?
There's a bone that's kind of misplaced or something. It's kind of out of whack.
All right. I'd like for you to go ahead and zoom in to that bone. Go even deeper. What is the reason why that bone is out of whack?
She knocked it out doing something. She was, she had both of the dogs getting out of the car, and one of them was wiggling, and she tried to grab it, and she did some kind of jerk with her head and kind of knocked it out of place a little.
What is the message?
Don't be a jerk. I don't know. She's she needs to put those dogs on a leash and quit trying to do that, because she's hurt herself a few times trying to just grab them and go.
Okay.
They need to be on leashes.
So I'd like for you to do something for me. We're going to go back in time right before that bone was out of place. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. When I get to number 1, I want you to be that moment in time. 3, 2, and 1. Be there. And I want you to get to the moment right before that bone got out of place. And I'm going to reinforce that neck now. And allow the time to progress and see what happens.
Feels like it's moving back into place. It's
Breathe in and breathe it into place. And reinforce it. what's happening?
It still feels like it's kind of out of place.
Mm-hmm. Bring a higher frequency in. And I'd like for you now to talk to that bone. And send it love and gratitude. And connect with that light source that you are. And begin sending light into that area. And I'd like for you to set yourself in a state of forgiveness for allowing yourself to be in that pain for so long. Can you forgive yourself?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So send that love to that bone now. Knowing that it is done. And allowing the bone to heal and adjust as the days move on. Knowing that each bone in the body knows exactly where it needs to be. Each bone and muscle and ligament understand its role in your body. And as we forgive ourselves for that moment in which we didn't pay attention, just give all of your body appreciation for just knowing exactly how to heal. This body has healed many times. And just do a scan of your body and see how the rest of your body is now.
I have a ringing in my ear that I've had for years. And sometimes it sounds like it's talking to me. It goes up and down, and then it goes to the other ear like stereo.
Yes.
And I don't know if that is somebody trying to get me ready for something.
All right, let's see. I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and I want you to intensify the ringing or the sound in the ears. 1, intensify the feeling. 2, begin to ride the vibration of the sound. 3, find the destination or origin of that sound. Where is it coming from?
It's coming from my brain on this side.
If you knew, what is creating that sound? If you knew, even if you think you're making it up, what is that?
It was damage from a virus.
Yes.
But when it goes to the other side, like, ooh, you know, it just, it's, it could be stress, it could be release. I need to release some stress.
Yes.
Maybe take a walk or get outside somehow and listen to, you know, birds in the trees and stuff.
So it's a message.
Yeah, but it's constant. This one's constant, but sometimes it gets real loud and real shrill, and then it sometimes goes over to the other side, but this isn't constant, so I don't... It just seems like somebody's trying to get me prepared for something.
If you knew exactly what the message was. What is the message of that transmission? I don't want you to guess, I want you to know.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
All right. Amplify the message. Is there anything else besides get ready?
What you're doing right now doesn't matter. Just step back and look at the big picture. Because it's usually during me doing something mundane, nothing big. I'll go, why is that coming through? So maybe I should see what I'm doing right at that moment when it happens and check it.
Very good. So let's get down to the main reason why Sabrina was brought to this session today. What did she need to hear? She felt that it was very important for her to be here.
She needed to hear about her destiny.
Has she gotten the answer?
Yeah, the answer can be thrilling or disturbing, however you look at it. But it's already been sort of happening.
Yes.
It's when it does happen, I'll be ready.
Very good.
I've looked at these other case scenarios, so something crazy huge like that happens, I'll go, well, I knew that was going to happen.
All right.
So here we go.
Okay. So before I end, I want you to go ahead and pull out that death card from the tarot. And just touch that card now. And tell me, what is the reason why this card has been coming up?
Because it's the death of all the stuff that made me miserable. The death of stagnation, frustration, loneliness. These are big ones anyway. That's a death of all that. And the rekindling of a friendship, associations, new friends coming along, being able to speak freely, being able to be myself again.
Wonderful. So I'd like for you to go ahead and shuffle that deck of cards once again. And pull out the card.
Pull that one?
Pull out one of the cards and see what the card is.
Star.
Yes.
The star.
What does that signify?
I don't know. Star. Shining brightly, I guess. I thought I'd pull out the Empress card because that's the one I usually get. That one's over and over.
So Sabrina has chosen a sweatshirt today that has stars all over.
Oh. I think so, yeah. And a crystal somewhere.
Yes. So how can she use that card?
To just remember, we all come from the stars. We all need to shine.
Very good. Is that the final message for her, or is there anything else?
Oh, that's it.
Very good. So I'd like to ask, is this a guide that has been helping us, or her higher self?
Where?
The one who I've been communicating with. Is that an aspect of Sabrina, or
Yes.
a guide?
It's her deepest self.
Very good. Thank you. Anything else that you'd like to tell her?
Tell you?
Tell her, or tell me, tell anyone?
Thank you, Alba.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Wow, what a session.
Oh, wow, I got to feel my neck. Oh, wow.
How does that feel?
It feels better. Oh, it's been hurting for a long time. I was thinking on the way over here, I need to go to my chiropractor, but no, I don't. I got something better. I got Alba Magic.
So we
goodness.
We did a lot today.
That was a lot. How long was that?
It was an hour and 25 minutes right now.
Oh, wow. I want to see what I got on my shirt. Okay, I got moons and stars.
Stars all over the place.
And crystals. Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think about this
Cosmos
session?
melting? I don't know what that is.
What did you think about this?
Oh, well, it's never what you expect.
No. It's always what you need.
Yeah.
So what did you...
Yeah. We've gone over that into the earth as we know it thing before, but this was different.
Okay, so let me just bring up this a little bit more. So, you saw a lot of really wild stuff.
I did. Oh my goodness. Wow.
And I was trying to get you to be as detailed as possible.
Well, there's just so much going on.
So
There's a lot going on. Okay, there's these 2 volcanoes, and that's going to be like a signal or something to us.
But before then, we're going to hear a voice.
We're going to hear a voice.
Now, have you heard this before?
You know, I've had a voice speak to me a few times in my life. And it's very clear.
Yeah, I've had that too.
And you recognize it. You don't know who it is, but you know you've known this. And you
take action.
You do what it says to do because it's not really, it's almost a command.
It is a command, yeah. I've had that voice.
And you listen to it. You're like, no doubt you're going to do whatever it tells you to do.
Yep.
You're very compelled.
Yep.
You know, and I think that's what it's going to be like. I think each of us have that voice. Some people haven't experienced it before, and some have.
Oh, I have. I've questioned it many times, but I always realize it's
I
the wrong.
never questioned it because it was so, pow, do this, you know.
I'm pretty stubborn.
Some people will be knowing about the volcanoes, but when you see it, when you see the volcanoes, I mean, we always see that on the news or whatever, but it's like some people will see that and know down deep, okay, it's time to get ready to
do whatever.
Let's get to higher ground or something, a safer place.
I would think it'd be like the animals. You know how the animals just get that instinct to run when there's something?
The voice, I think everybody's going to hear the voice. It's going to be either...
Probably animals too.
Yeah, yeah. And then, and we'll just have to obey it. My stomach was growling so loud the whole freaking time.
That's part of hypnosis, you know.
Holy shit. Because I ate a big breakfast thinking, I'll be fine.
No,
and it's like, roar. I was like, oh.
When you're in hypnosis, that's one of the symptoms.
Oh,
yeah.
golly. Does it come out on the film? Like, because it was like, roar. I was like, jeez. And now it's not growling.
No, because usually one of the symptoms of when you're under hypnosis deep is your stomach growling. It's yawning is one of them.
Oh yeah, I just yawn like a weirdo. Yeah.
The eyes blink and the stomach growls.
So one more of my eyes blinking because they felt like they were watering. But anyway.
No, the stomach was the
stomach. Jeez, it wouldn't shut up. I was going, shut up. Stop. But
so
anyway.
it seems we've got a team that is going to do something, but we don't know.
And there's more. Those are just the ones I could name, but there's more. And somehow or other, we need to just like buckle down and keep in touch with each other. Mm-hmm. It seems like we don't have to make this happen. We're all going to just start going, hey, did you see that? Hey, you know. Mm-hmm. It seems like it'll be a very organic kind of getting it together.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that this is something that the public should know about?
I don't know. What do you think? Was it stupid? Because I always come out going, oh my God, come on. I was thinking it was going to be something fantastical. And then I look back and I go, that was kind of fantastical, you know. Yeah. Man.
So what do you think? Do you think that we should share some of this to let people know what's coming?
You know, I don't want this is the thing. You always think you're making it up. And you don't want to scare people.
Yes.
I mean, this was some pretty busy, intense stuff I was seeing. You know, I don't want to be a doomsday kind of person, but it was a positive thing too, you know, because we were all going through this, and for the other people from other star systems to be, but they've been watching us all along. I mean, it was that obvious that they were like, okay, it was organized, you know, like they were coming in, and other people were walking through this like a portal, like that guy. I don't know, because I thought about that, you know, like how I just saw that, and I was like, that's probably, we're just going to walk right into another dimension. Mm-hmm. You know, those of us that are ready for it. The whole thing is staying calm in something so bizarre and unrealistic.
This has been going on for a long time. I mean, the first time I ever heard anything about staying calm was a session that I did in Sedona with Gary. And it was kind of doomsday type of thing too. People didn't like that one because it was basically saying there's a lot of stuff is going to happen and you need to know how to connect with your source.
Yeah.
When this is happening, that's why you have to learn. That's why they have been telling us to learn to meditate and to be able to center ourselves, because when the whole world is falling apart, you need to be connected. You need to be connected to the source, you know, to your God.
Make it easier. You know, really, mm-hmm. It's
well, it would be like, you know, if you're a firefighter, that's your job, is to keep calm.
Have you ever seen a firefighter go into a fire? They're not scared.
Right.
They are so calm.
And they're focused.
They're so focused.
Right.
And that's what was going on. We were so focused to go, come on, come on.
Let's do this. Yeah.
And then some people knew just to go right here. And then some people were like, no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just couldn't help them. Mm-hmm. You could help. You'd say, come with me now. They go, oh, okay. You know, some people would snap out of it, you know.
Yeah.
But.
So do you want to share it?
Sure.
Okay.
I hope it didn't freak too many people out. Because it's so bizarre. You're like, ah, crap, that came out of my mouth. But, you know.
Well.
If it helps anybody, or if somebody else has something that they have seen, like in dreams or in other sessions. It
validates it, right?
Yeah. If they're searching for that because they saw something like that, I'd love to help them with that, because, you know, that's what we're all trying to do with this stuff is...
Yeah.
You know, make sure we're not crazy.
Oh my goodness. So we have just had a very interesting session with Sabrina, and this is my first in-person session from Micanopy, Florida.
Yay!
And I hope in the future that you'll be able to come and visit me here and do a session with me. But Sabrina, tell everybody where you are and what you do, because you also do this. So tell them where you're.
I'm in Winter Garden, Florida. I'm a little over an hour away from here, so I'm glad she moved closer to me.
Yeah. And Sabrina, I've actually met Sabrina in the introspective hypnosis class. She does hypnosis, and a beautiful artist.
Thank you. And I'm also a Reiki master.
Yeah, so she will be setting up shop pretty soon.
Real soon. Yeah.
So if anybody wants to contact you, is there a place where they can contact you yet, or not?
You know, I'm working on that.
Okay.
But if they wanted to reach you, to reach me, if that's okay.
you can connect with me if you want to reach Sabrina to get more information, have a session with her, and check out her art. It's really beautiful paintings.
Thank you.
And if you want a session with me, you'll have to go on to my website, albaweinman.com, sign up for my newsletter. It comes out about once a month. And I do have a few sessions online and then some in Micanopy. Micanopy is in North Central Florida. So thank you all for watching, and I hope I get to see you once again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.